Thanks for joining us today on New England Living. I'm your host, Rachel Holt. First up, we're heading to Amherst, New Hampshire to celebrate the annual grape harvest at Labelle Winery with founder and winemaker Amy Labelle. We're here at Labelle Winery in Amherst, and you also have a location in Derry. So first of all, describe the scope of your winery.
So the winery started here in Amherst. This is our flagship property. 3 acres of vineyard planted here with an event center, restaurant, retail space, and the production, of course. This is where we produce all of our still wines. The other thing you can do on the Amherst property that I love is that there's a terrace that wraps the restaurant. So you can sit on the terrace, enjoy your lunch, enjoy a glass of wine, and be looking at the vineyard. So you may as well be in Napa as far as I'm concerned, and I really wanted to bring that experience to the people of New Hampshire. In 2020, I acquired a property in Derry that was already an event center and a restaurant, which I renovated completely. It also has a golf course. So the scope of what we offer has been expanding for the last few years, and we've been leaning into those extra hospitality spaces. It's been a lot of fun.
Why did you pick here in southern New Hampshire?
I very much wanted to bring the spirit of what a winery brings to the community of New Hampshire. I love New Hampshire. I live in New Hampshire. I'm a New England girl. I grew up in Massachusetts. And we just didn't have anything like this around at the time. I also really wanted to build a place for people to learn. So education in wine and food and all the things that surround it, very important to me. So we teach culinary classes a couple times a month. We teach wine classes, you name it. You can come and learn it at Labelle. There's always an educational component here. So always looking to bring the community together.
What is the winemaking process here at Labelle Winery?
There's a universal path for wine. Everybody kind of makes the same pathway movements to make grapes become wine. But every winery has its own little tiny decisions that bring a wine to fruition in that winery style. And for Labelle, that means we're doing minimal intervention. We're not adding a lot of chemicals. We are processing naturally whenever possible. So those are the decisions along the way in winemaking that really define a winery style. And for Labelle, it means just allowing the grape to express itself as naturally as possible.
We got a glimpse of the work that goes on here, and it looks to be a lot of production. You are one of the largest producers here in New England, so just give us a sense of how much wine is coming out of here per year.
This year we'll process about 95 total ton of grapes, and that translates to something like 16 or 17,000 cases, something like that.
Those are big numbers.
It's a lot of wine. It's a lot of wine for, honestly, a pretty small crew. And interesting to know, one of the only female winemaking crews. We're all female winemaking. I've got me, I've got Melanie Shepard, and then our cellar hand, Avery. It's a pretty small crew, but we're putting up these big numbers and we're really proud of it.
And not only are you putting women-led wineries on the map, but it seems like you're putting New Hampshire wines on the map too.
I'm trying to.
That must feel pretty cool.
It does, because New Hampshire and New England wines in general kind of get a bad rap. But I'll say what my husband always says, which is, if the best winemaker in France moved to Amherst, New Hampshire, wouldn't the wine be good? Well, of course it would be good, because it's an art. And so you've got to start with good grapes, but a good winemaker can make good wine anywhere. And so I love to try to break down those barriers that good wine can't be made in New England, because it's just not true.
We have the privilege of being here for a very unique and special day here. It's Harvest Day. It only happens one day a year. It's where you see all your hard work really pay off. So describe what happens for us.
Yeah, so on Harvest Day, it is such a special day. It starts very early, and we want to bring in the grapes in the morning when they're still cool and haven't been kind of beat by the sun all day, because you can't make good wine from warm grapes. They have to be kind of chilled because the yeast doesn't like to be hot. That means we have to come in a couple hours before everybody shows up so we can set up all the equipment, make sure we're ready to tackle the day. Then we welcome our members. The Vineyard Club members are folks who have sponsored a vine in the vineyard, and they get to come and harvest with us. We usually do an opening speech of sorts, and then we like to deliver a harvest blessing. That's really important to us, to have that community feel and that blessing over the work that we're about to do and the wine that we're about to create. We gather today with grateful hearts at the start of our grape harvest here at Labelle Winery. May this harvest be filled with laughter, friendship, and safe work as together we bring in the fruits of the season. For this vineyard, for this harvest, and for the community we serve, we give you thanks. And then we disperse to the fields. And so all the volunteers are picking grapes. They are putting them in the bins, which we are then transporting down to the crush pad, where the grapes are weighed, measured, they're sorted so that we can take out any materials that are not grapes. MOG, we call it in the industry, material other than grapes. So sticks, leaves, any rocks, anything that might have got into the picking bins. And then we crush the grapes, we destem the grapes, and we put them in tank, getting them ready to do their fermentation. We, of course, turn this hard work day into a celebration, and we invite everyone who participated in the harvest to join us for this amazing brunch under the tent out in the vineyard. And one of the great features of the brunch is that once the speeches are done, we are able to serve a welcome pour of red and white wine, which is the wine that we made from last year's harvest. And it's just such a great moment because people really recognize that thread connecting last year's harvest to this year's and the next and the next.
And this is the estate white from last year's harvest.
That's correct.
Everyone gets to enjoy it today. It looks like everyone really looks forward to that moment of seeing their hard work pay off, right?
Oh yeah, the folks that come to harvest with us every year, our Vineyard Club members, they get to not only bring in the harvest and see what that process looks like, but then they know the next year when they come and work hard again to bring in the next harvest, they'll be able to enjoy that glass of wine that they took part in, and how often in life would you be able to be a part of something so big, It's a great experience.
I can tell this is a day that means a lot to you. Describe your feelings towards it.
Oh gosh, harvest for us is the pinnacle of a year's worth of work. As soon as harvest is over, we'll start focusing again on the vineyard and making sure that the vines are producing the grapes we need for the next year. But it's really the culmination of a year's worth of work in the vineyard. And my team works so hard on it. It means so much to all of us. And of course, we can only make great wine from great grapes. So we work so hard to make sure the grapes are excellent every single year.
Well, I have to say, I have a greater appreciation for what goes into this glass. I learned a lot today, and we appreciate you taking us along for the ride.
Well, I really appreciate you being here and sharing our story.
Cheers.
Cheers.